Judy, as all of us know, is president of the American Bar Association. Truly, she's been working very hard. She flew in last night about 10 o'clock from Chicago on a one-day trip to be here with us today, so thank you, Judy. For more than 3 decades, Judy has served the American Bar Association leadership. She was the ABA's representative to the United Nations, chair of the Presidential Commission on the Future of Legal Services, chair of the Standing Committee on the Federal Judiciary, which evaluates all prospective nominees to the federal bench. Judy's commitment to public service is equally as impressive. She's worked with colleagues from the Louisiana Bar to establish the New Orleans Pro Bono Project and served as its first chair. She is also a distinguished Access to Justice Pro Bono Fellow for the Southeast Louisiana Legal Services. She's on the board of the Innocence Project. Actually, she's not on the board right now, but I'm the board chair. She's coming back on the board next year. And she's an officer of the World Justice Project. On top of all of that, she's counsel with David Bienvenu's law firm, Simone, Peregrine, Smith, and Redfern. Because I'm a member of the Legal Services Corporation Board of Directors, it will come as no surprise to all of you that I'm particularly grateful for the support that Judy provides LSC and its grantees. She's among the strongest of LSC's advocates, and for that we are very grateful. Judy is a true servant leader, and she's one of those people that when you associate with her, she makes you a better person. Judy?
Well, good morning to all of you, and I'm delighted to be with you here today at this very important event. I think so many in this room share the sentiment and the feelings that I have in knowing firsthand and all too well the disruption and life-altering impact that a natural disaster can have on an individual's life, often destroying all that one holds dear. As a born and raised New Orleanian, and in fact somebody from St. Bernard Parish, I have lived through Betsy in 1965. We felt the impact of Camille in 1969, of course Katrina and Rita and Gustav and Isaac, and so much more. Our hometown of New Orleans was ravaged by Katrina, and I watched as countless hurricanes and storms and tornadoes and fires have impacted the rest of our country over the course of these years. And for Katrina, we told our children to pack their gym bag with 2 changes of clothes and a set of church clothes so we could go to Mass in Baton Rouge on Sunday morning. And we returned to our devastated city on December 22nd, 2005. We bought our first ever home in Baton Rouge and put our kids in school there, and we were the lucky ones. Of the 23 individuals who sheltered in Baton Rouge at one of my brother's homes, 6 households among them, ours was the only one that didn't suffer 9 feet of water. And they, as well as us, were the lucky ones, because it's the elderly, as we all know, the poor and the near poor that are the hardest hit and have the hardest time coming back. And despite the fact that my family home in Chalmette still is a vacant lot, where my brother lived and suffered the consequences of Katrina, and so many other homes are like that, we've all struggled to come back these many years, because the resilience of the people in this city, as well as cities across this nation, when they face these tragedies as recently as yesterday in Nashville with the tornadoes there, we all know that once life changes, it's everything before and after what happens to you. And that's how we compartmentalize and deal with it. It's how, when a storm approaches, we know all too well the lessons learned, and we evacuate and ready, and we planned as we must, and how we as a city collectively watch a football team with a different eye and a different yearning for victory, because we know that even if we get knocked down, we'll get up again right away and do it again and again and again. And that's why disaster planning and readiness is so important, and that's why this report of the Legal Services Corporation is so critical, because it sets forth game-changing and collective learning from the experiences across the country of legal aid lawyers and judges and court administrators and pro bono lawyers and those in private practice and bar leaders, and it gathers that knowledge together and all the work that they have done and the collaborations that they have been a part of in order to better ready us and prepare us for disasters that we know will come and will come again. We have so many to thank for this report: the legal services staff, the staff of all those bar associations that helped collect the data, the extraordinary grantees of Legal Services Corporation, the committee that was behind the leadership on this report, and we will be forever, for many years to come, indebted to them for all they have given us through this report and the implementation of this report that is so critical. And the ABA, the American Bar Association, is equally proud of our complementary work to educate lawyers, bar associations, and to work with the justice system through the ABA Standing Committee on Disaster Preparedness and Response, which was, by the way, established after Katrina. The website of the ABA Standing Committee is available at americanbar.org/disaster, and it has a wealth of free resources that work collaboratively with what's in this report. And we're at the forefront, that committee, through the wonderful leadership of Andrew Van Sinkle, who's with us today, and so many others, Amanda Brown as well, in making sure that we are on the ready for responding to disasters, but also ones that we know are critically important for us to be keenly aware of, the impacts that they have on the court. Throughout 2019 and so far this year, that arrangement, the arrangement that the ABA has in its Young Lawyers Division with FEMA, has allowed us to respond to 15 declared disasters nationwide, fielding more than 5,000 hotline calls from survivors about everything from housing and insurance and so much more. And since 2007, the ABA Young Lawyers Division has led the way in responding to 178 declared disasters in 44 states and territories. And I can assure you, it is often in close working partnerships with legal aid offices, LSE grantees across this country. And that's been our extraordinary experience here in Louisiana, working with Laura Tuggle, and others who come forth to make sure that we are responding in a way that's most helpful to our community. And we also know now that we have free legal answers as yet another tool in our toolbox to make sure that lawyers who have the capacity to work from their home state for states that have been hit by a disaster because of the Katrina rule implementation by courts, that is so important, as was done by Chief Justice Heck in Texas following the impacts there, has been a way that over 6,800 lawyers have registered and over 100,000 questions have been posted that can now be answered by those who are in need because of disasters or otherwise. The issuance of this report is a milestone. It's one worth commemorating and talking about today and in the future weeks and months to come. Thanks to everyone. On behalf of the American Bar Association, thank you for all you're doing to strengthen the partnership that we have with Legal Services Corporation. Our work is far from done. We will continue this important work with each and every one of you to heal and restore the lives of communities impacted by natural disasters. With bold and thoughtful leadership, the leadership that we see in the members of the board of the Legal Services Corporation and John Levy, its chair, as well as all of those on the incredible staff of LSC, we know working together that we can get this work done in a way that is best for the people that we serve. Thank you, and I appreciate being a very small part, but so happy to be in my home state to talk about this report.